orient our brains
to
pursue an analog life, let's say, using the terminology that you've used for analog church, because we're not going to get rid of it entirely. How do we go about making that or executing that? Saying it in theory is great.
Yeah.
But doing it is something altogether different. So what are your recommendations to practically go about that?
Yeah. I don't think there's an easy way. I don't think there's an easy path. I think there is only a path of utter discipline and commitment. And I think it is practical and it's practice based. So having a digital rule of life essentially is, I think, the way. And I'm sure there are other ways, but that's the way that seems to work best for me and for my family, and seems to be most effective when I talk to other people who have tried to sort of live with a deeper awareness of what these technologies are doing and then respond to that. Yeah, I think having a digital rule of life is the way to go. So Andy Crouch, in his book, Tech-Wise Family, he offers some really helpful tips, much of which has been really, really integral and helpful for my family. So it's simple stuff for us, like the charging station for our phones are in our kitchen and not in our bedrooms. So, and then Crouch actually recommends, and this has been so helpful for us, he says, treat your phone especially, but all your digital technologies, the way you would treat a young child, whether you have a young child or not, if you're a parent. And what he means by that is put the phone to bed before you go to bed and wake up before the phone wakes up. So pragmatically, what that means for us is our phones don't sit on our nightstands. They're not within arm's length. Get an alarm clock, like an old school, that's like a novel idea now, but get an old school alarm clock that just wakes you up in the morning. And so that when you reach over in the morning, the first thing you grab isn't your phone. Because we know what happens. Like if it's within arm's length, it doesn't matter how much we tell ourselves we're going to change. The reality is you're going to open that thing up and check email or your calendar or social media, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and the moment you do that, you've already snapped your brain into a particular thing. It's like taking one lick of ice cream. It's like, okay, you did it. You woke up and you licked the ice cream. You're not going to just let the thing drip all over your hands. Like, what's going to happen to you. Like you started your day that way. So in many ways, this is where the wisdom pyramid is so helpful to me. I love Brett's sort of him making it analogous to the food pyramid, so you have to start with the building blocks of good nutrition. And I think we have to order our lives that way. And that's a matter of physicality, to be honest. Like it's a matter of actually leaving the things that we know will pull our attention away from the things that really matter. It's a matter of physically leaving them in places and spaces where they're beyond reach in those moments when we know we have to focus, or the beginning of the day or the end of the day when we know we want to start and end our days a particular way. So even during the day here at our church, one of the things we try to do, a rule that we have, is like no phones in staff meetings. Like literally phones don't come out. They're not allowed to come out. And, there's a lot of uproar like, hey, what if my kid at school has an emergency and I get that. But the reality is like, people live this way for centuries and centuries up until 20 years ago. So relax, like everyone relax. So there you go. Yeah, those are just a couple thoughts.